Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2014 State of Downtown Address. I'm Catherine Reeves. I'm president of the Downtown Orlando Partnership. I'm thrilled and honored to be here on behalf of the DOP. I work at Highwoods Properties, and I'm very pleased to say we have just purchased Lincoln Plaza and added it to our portfolio of several other downtown properties. We love downtown Orlando. DOP is thrilled to be hosting this wonderful annual event and so appreciate everyone in this room for being here today and showing support for downtown. Before we get to it, we would be remiss if we didn't take a brief moment to thank a few people here today who have made this event possible. First and foremost, Mayor Buddy Dyer and the City of Orlando team, and Thomas Chapman and the Downtown Development Board for their partnership and ongoing support of DOP. Our presenting sponsor, the Orlando Utilities Commission, who have given generously of their resources to assist in this effort. Our wonderful community partners and sponsors of today's event, Baker Barrios, the City of Orlando, the Downtown Development Board, Filmscape Productions, Highwoods Properties, Orlando City, our very own soccer club, Orlando Magic, Orlando Solar Bears, Parkway Properties, UCF, and Valencia College. Our corporate block sponsors listed in your program, and of course, my fellow DOP leaders and volunteers who advocate every day for the betterment of our district and our venue hosts, Church Street Exchange, Tremont Capital, and Canvas. To start off, I'd like to invite up our presenting sponsor, Representative Dan Kirby, current commission president and principal at Jacobs.
Thank you, Catherine. Who thinks it's a great time to be in downtown Orlando? Quick show of hands, how many of you live and work in downtown Orlando? Quick show. I see my neighbors are here. That's great. That's great. I am proud to count myself among you as somebody that lives and works here in downtown Orlando. And on behalf of OUC, I want to say we are very pleased to be the presenting sponsor of today's State of Downtown Address. I'm joined here today by OUC, our OUC Business Center team members, who the folks you saw in the green shirts outside. Also, I'm joined by our CEO, Ken Kashanik, and his executive team, and our my fellow commissioners, Malin Dominguez, Greg Lee, and of course, our own Mayor Buddy Dyer, the happiest mayor in America right now. Mayor, we're loving taking the victory lap, following your lead. Some of you may know me from my work as an architect and a planner. It has absolutely been my life's work to understand the design of places for people, to know what makes cities tick and what makes them successful. I'm very pleased to say that in my professional opinion, we've got something very special going on right here in downtown Orlando. You know that we're enjoying many milestones this year. It's been great the last few weeks to be with many of you as we've seen the opening of a world-class performing arts center, of an NFL quality stadium. I'll say it again, an NFL quality stadium. It's also exciting to know that that will soon be followed by an MLS stadium. I saw Phil Rollins, by a sports entertainment district, and by a downtown campus for UCF. It's not an overstatement to say that these things are game changers. The mayor mentioned that back in '23, he established a downtown strategic transition team. I was one of the 27 members of that group. I'll tell you, back then, we had some aspirational goals. Now we can point to some tangible and inspirational achievements. Now we have Project DTO, which is taking us to the next level. It's engaged us to further enhance a downtown that has already become the economic and cultural capital of Orlando, of Florida's super region. Downtown Orlando is that important and that critical to this state. Quick history lesson for you. If you're one of those rare multi-generational Florida families, you may have had grandparents who lived in Orlando at a time when Orlando didn't even have electricity for 24 hours a day. So way back in 1923, our state legislature chartered the Orlando Utilities Commission. The people of OUC went to work to serve our customers, and we've never stopped working since. By providing reliable power, water, and chill water services, we've earned the right to call ourselves the reliable one. Now we have 1,100 OUC employees that are also working to make us the sustainable one. We're moving towards the mayor's stated goal of making us the greenest city in the Southeast, and very proud to be a part of that. Sustainability has become ingrained in our OUC culture. There's an understanding that we must make the commitments that are necessary to sustain quality of life and keep Orlando as a competitive and attractive place to live, work, play, and start a business. Our OUC logo, as you recognize it, includes a light bulb, the symbol of an idea. This is another reason it's so fitting that this event today is here at Canvas in this historic Church Street Exchange building. This is a co-working environment where the exchange of ideas can lead to the next big thing in technology, all of it homegrown right here in Orlando. So as you set out to make your mark in business, know that OUC will be right there with you, continuing to do the work that will keep the water flowing to keep you refreshed. We'll continue to provide the power that serves to keep the servers running, that keeps the 3D printers printing, that recharges your digital life. And remember this, every great city started as a settlement. Every great business was a startup. We hope that this city and our downtown is filled with the light of ideas and innovation that will power us into a bright future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. We really appreciate all that OUC does for downtown. And next, I'd like to introduce one of our organization's biggest supporters and advocates, Mr. Thomas Chapman, Executive Director of the Downtown Development Board.
Thank you, Catherine, and hello, downtown Orlando. Come on, I can see you, but I'm not sure I can hear everybody. Let me try it again. Hello, DTO Nation. Yeah, that's a little better. Thank you, and again, I also welcome you to State of Downtown 2014 here in historic Church Street Exchange. Looks a little different than in years past, right? You think? Used to be an escalator about the middle of the floor here. In the 10th anniversary edition of Richard Florida's Rise of the Creative Class Revisited, the author states, and I quote, "The creative economy is driven by the logic that seeks to fully harness and no longer waste human resources and talent." My friends, look around us. This is the creative economy, the innovation economy at work. The future is now, and it looks like this. Church Street Tech Exchange. Wouldn't you agree? You like? Last year, many of you stood with me as we celebrated 10 years of outstanding leadership for DTO, or Downtown Orlando. This year, we decided to make it a little bit easier for you to stand. No pesky chairs for some of you to get up and out of so many times. We were considerate. And since so many of you are blessed to be standing, I'll be brief. As always, we're here to reflect on Downtown Orlando's accomplishments of the recent past and the excitement of visionary successes yet to come. Logically, there are many who contribute to these triumphs, too many to name, but we'll begin with the policymakers of the Downtown Orlando Community Redevelopment Agency, otherwise known as Orlando City Council. Commissioners, please stand and remain standing as you're recognized. District 2 Commissioner Tony Ortiz. District 3, Commissioner Robert Stewart. District 4, Commissioner Patty Sheehan. District 5, and our newest commissioner, Regina Hill. And District 6, Commissioner Sam Ings. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, on behalf of Mayor Dyer, I am proud to convey that the state of downtown Orlando is strong and its future bright, largely due to the unwavering support and prudent decisions of these illustrious leaders. Please again help me thank them. Thank you so much. Recently, as in the past, we've had several ribbon cuttings at some undeniably world-class amenities. These jewels in the crown of downtown Orlando would not be reality today without the strategic and sagacious support of our partners in Orange County. The Orange County delegation is led, as always, by the Honorable Mayor Teresa Jacobs, and includes Mayor Jacobs. Thank you. And includes Commissioners Scott Boyd and newly elected Commissioners Victoria Siplin and Brian Nelson. I haven't seen her, but I'd heard that former Commissioner and now Clerk of Court Tiffany Moore Russell was to be here. If she's here, Tiffany, would you stand? And of course, I have seen my good friend, property appraiser Rick Seen. Rick. As always, we thank you, Orange County, for your partnership and for your support. If there are additional elected officials, please stand or wave so that you may be recognized. We got a waiver over there. Hey, we got a waiver over there. Thank you all for your presence today. And quickly, we must recognize the presence and leadership and commitment of our Downtown Development Board members and Community Advisory Board members. Our chair, Roger Chapin, could not be here, but Doug Taylor, our vice chair, Bill Diamond, our past chair, Terry Delahunty, Wendy Connor, and Jessica Burns, please. And I know that I saw Jennifer Quigley, and I'm sure there are other past Downtown Development Board members as well. We thank you all. And also our Appearance Review Board, or ARB, 7 people who give hundreds of hours, of man-hours annually, ensuring that the aesthetic integrity of downtown Orlando is all that it should be. Thank you all. And now, it's time to acknowledge the past and peer into the future. My friends, DTO Nation, you know where we are in the enchanting evolution of our renaissance and redevelopment. You're about to see visions of where we could be, where we want to be, and if we continue working together, where we will be. A sort of magical, mystical, visionary tour, if you will. Just imagine. Who better to lead us on this mesmerizing journey than the definitively passionate, totally committed, and thoroughly capable leader who is our mayor. DTO Nation, please welcome the best downtown mayor in America today, the most honorable, Buddy Dyer.
Wow, this is pretty cool. I wish everybody could come up here and see what this looks like exactly. Look at standing room only up there. Yeah, I see you up there. You look good. This is great. Good afternoon, and Dan Kirby's right. I am the happiest mayor in all of America, and certainly more happy than the mayor of Detroit right now. But I can tell you this, it is a great day to be in Orlando. It is a great day to be in downtown Orlando, and it's especially a great day to be among so many brilliant minds here at Orlando's newest home for our community creators at Church Street Exchange. And the transformation of this building into a co-working community is the most recent leap forward in our effort to make downtown the premier tech hub in the entire southeastern United States. And this space is 90% full of companies, including Canvas, Echo Interaction Group, Split, PlanSource, The Iron Yard, Power DMS, Book That Doc, Trends Studios, Be Creative House, and a company that was just launched today, Echo 42. But the Exchange is more than just a collection of cutting-edge companies. The story of this building is in many ways the story of downtown Orlando itself. It's a story of rebounding from tough times, of rebirth and reinvention. Back in the 80s and 90s, this was the iconic Church Street Exchange. Millions of residents and visitors came here for dining and shopping and entertainment. And at one point, the Church Street District was the 4th leading tourism destination in all of Florida, behind only our world-class theme parks. But consumer tastes change and economies have ups and downs, and by the beginning of this new century, downtown Orlando and Church Street had lost a little of its luster. Our center city had become what some described as a ghost town. Around that same time, about 11 and a half years ago, this community entrusted me with serving as mayors. And one of the first things we talked about was the fact that great cities of the world have one element in common. They have great downtowns. So we rallied. We rallied around the idea that if Orlando was going to reach its potential, then we had to have a great downtown. And to make that happen, we brought together a diverse group of residents, along with business and civic and faith-based stakeholders, to form what we call the Downtown Strategic Transition Team. That's still hard to say. I don't know who came up with that. And the Paramore Task Force, which is easier to say. These two groups embarked on their missions by asking the members of our community to do something very simple. Close your eyes and imagine. Imagine a downtown where people live, work, learn, and play together. Imagine world-class amenities for sports and arts and entertainment, places for people to gather and make memories. Imagine a more walkable downtown with expanded mass transit options. Imagine new places for people to live and great spaces for people to play. Imagine a safe downtown, a modern downtown, an inclusive downtown that has something for everyone. Imagine a downtown that serves as the economic engine for all of Central Florida and as the destination for cutting-edge industries and quality careers of the future. What happened next? We did more than just dream. Fueled by leadership and engagement from every segment of our community, we created a comprehensive plan to bring that vision to life. And then we went to work, and we did it. It took 10 years of hard work, but downtown Orlando is no longer a ghost town. It's no longer just a weekday employment hub. It is a place where people want to be. Just as this building has been reinvented and reimagined, so too have we reinvented and reimagined downtown Orlando. And today, our downtown is a vibrant and dynamic center city, an economic engine, a cultural destination with a charm and character all of its own. The train is here early. I haven't got to that spot yet. Thomas, or maybe it was Dan Kirby, talked too long. I had this timed out. Okay, there's a portion on Sunrail coming up. But not yet. So last year at this event, we recounted all of the specific achievements that have made this renaissance possible. We detailed how our strategic transition team turned those ideas into reality. And once again, we want to thank those members of that team. Thank you very much. Would Carrie and anybody that was on that original downtown strategic team, we'll dust you off, Carrie. Dan, anybody else that was on? Ford? Stewart? So as much as we appreciate their incredible work, it's time to turn the page on the last 10 years. It's time to celebrate what's happening today and to plan for tomorrow. And at this moment, we are in the midst and I think everybody would agree with me on this, we're in the midst of the biggest year in the history of downtown Orlando. Think about the last year. We opened Sunrail. You see how close that was to... Dan, you definitely talked too long. We opened Sunrail, our region's first commuter rail line and the backbone of a growing mass transit system. We added a new limo route, the Grapefruit Line, that is now serving Paramore and Thornton Park. And we'll soon open the Lime Line to serve the Creative Village and Florida A&M Law School. And in the last 6 months, limo ridership has jumped by 33% because of Sunrail riders. How about that? And I know something that Commissioner Sheehan is happy about. We started the restoration of our historic Amtrak station. And just today, we installed the first of 1,000 smart parking meters that will make it easier to park in downtown Orlando. So these transit options are changing the way people make their way to and through our downtown. And the transit-oriented development generated by these projects has already spurred more than $1 billion in investment in our downtown. Now, over a few weeks ago, just a few weeks ago, the dream that our arts community has held for decades became a reality as the Dr. Phillips Center opened its doors, raising the curtain on a new era of arts and culture for Central Florida. And just today, if you drive down Orange Avenue, you'll see a sign that went up announcing our effort to secure a hotel adjacent to the Dr. Phillips Center. This year, we also installed 8 iconic sculptures in downtown through our Sea Art Orlando project. So between our 20 galleries, Sea Art Orlando, and the Dr. Phillips Center, downtown is alive with arts. And in any other city, these arts achievements would be enough for the whole speech. But this year in Orlando, it's just the start. Days ago, we opened the new Orlando Citrus Bowl, and tens of thousands of fans were in the stands in the rain for the Florida Blue Florida Classic and had the best time they've ever had at the Florida Blue Florida Classic. Tens of thousands more will be at the Citrus Bowl for our 2 signature bowl games in a few weeks. And our beloved stadium is already attracting new games. We added a 3rd signature bowl game, the Cure Bowl, which is dedicated to funding breast cancer research. That'll be played in December of 2015. And we'll host college football's newest annual kickoff classic beginning in 2016 with a game between Ole Miss and a team from North Florida. Through the new Citrus Bowl, we have planted our flag in the turf and declared that Orlando is, as one Orlando Sentinel columnist recently said, the college football capital of the world. And speaking of football, of another kind, the football, you might have heard we secured a Major League Soccer team. And a few weeks ago, with an assist from our crazy, rabid Orlando City fans with smoke bombs and signs and masks and everything you could possibly want to see, we broke ground on our new soccer stadium. And in only a few months, we'll be cheering our Orlando City Lions in the Citrus Bowl in their inaugural MLS season, and then seeing them take the field in a new state-of-the-art stadium the following year. How about that, Phil? And get this, the same year, we'll host the NCAA Women's National Soccer Final Four. We've already landed big events, and we haven't even really started the stadium. Our big year in sports also extends to the ice, where our Solar Bears will shades. They're going to host the 2015 ECHL All-Star Game at the Amway Center. And it extends to the hardwood, as we were once again selected as a March Madness site for 2017. And next year, we'll welcome the Orlando Predators back to downtown. So on top of all of this is our Orlando Magic, whose games at the Amway Center draw people downtown night after night. And this year, the Magic will extend its impact beyond basketball further than ever by spearheading a wave of private investment in downtown when they start work on our new sports and entertainment district that will include a hotel, a conference center, dining, and retail options. So all of these achievements have put us in the position to proudly say that Orlando can host any event the world can bring us. So beyond our venues, this has been an incredible achievement. There has been incredible achievements in other areas as well. Lake Eola Park has reached an all-time high of 2.5 million visitors this year. How about that? And this fall, we had a huge announcement that UCF and Valencia College will partner and move into our creative village. That's a game changer. This new campus will draw at least 10,000 students, and combined with Orange County Public Schools' commitment to bring a K-8 public school to Paramore, it further cements downtown as a destination for lifelong learning. Downtown is also helping drive our vision for Orlando as the most sustainable city in the Southeast. This year, we brought the total number of LEED certified buildings downtown to 14, with 5 more on the way. And I know this isn't the grandest of announcements, but in the year ahead, we'll begin offering recycling in our downtown buildings. So over the last year, we've continued to work to keep our downtown safe, reducing violent crime in our center city by nearly 10%. And within the last few weeks, we closed on the land to build a new Orlando police headquarters, and we'll begin site preparation on that facility next week. I told my staff we didn't have an announcement for next week, so let's go ahead and start on the site prep for OPD. So the new OPD headquarters will further enhance downtown safety, while also, just as importantly, spurring redevelopment along the Orange Blossom Trail. It's going to be on Orange Blossom Trail between South and Anderson. So while we're creating a downtown that is built for fun, built for the future, we're not avoiding our responsibility to help those who need it most. And that's why our community, led by Florida Hospital, has committed $11 million to a bold new plan to house the chronically homeless in the next 3 years. So I talk with my fellow mayors around the country quite frequently, and I can tell you that they're pretty envious of us right now. I could probably characterize it as jealous, because there's no city in America can match the kind of year that we're having. And you can just feel it. There's a buzz. You feel it when you walk around our downtown. It's contagious. I can feel it in here. Can you feel it in here? Yes. And that energy doesn't just come from the projects and the ribbon cuttings and the big announcements, which, by the way, my kids thought for about the first 10 years I was mayor, that's all I did was ribbon cuttings and announcements. That energy comes from you. It comes from our residents and our business owners. You're choosing to live in downtown, work in downtown, invest in downtown, and almost every day I hear from residents and business leaders about why they want to be part of downtown Orlando and the downtown Orlando experience. I've heard from seniors who are choosing to have what they call an urban retirement. I've talked to families who say their new favorite thing to do is watch an outdoor movie in Lake Eola Park. I've heard from residents who have given up their cars for a more walkable lifestyle. And I've heard from residents and visitors who can't believe we have amenities that are as good as, or I think, better than places like Philadelphia and New York. And I've talked to young people who 10 years ago might have gone somewhere else, but today are starting their careers in downtown, and they're choosing to live footsteps away from where they work in new buildings like Nora and Artisan 420, Thornton Park Brownstones, and the Sevens. And that youth movement is positioning our downtown as the centerpiece of a region that's built for the future. And building a city for the future means a downtown that's home to the careers and employers of tomorrow. When I talk to business leaders, I hear why downtown is important to them. A great example is Red Lobster, which opened its first corporate office in downtown Orlando 4 decades ago and has now chosen to return to downtown. In just a few weeks, Red Lobster will open its new global headquarters at CNL 1, bringing 300 employees downtown. And their new home features a culinary development center where the company's team of world-class chefs will create innovative recipes, and that just happens to be right where my parking spot is right next to that, so I can walk through on the way in. But they'll serve that in their more than 700 restaurants around the world, and on top of that, the company will bring 1,600 employees here every year, many of them managers and future managers who, along with receiving the tools and training for successful careers with Red Lobster, will stay in downtown hotels and eat in our restaurants. They want to offer their employees world-class amenities and an unmatched quality of life. And they're not alone. When California tech company Junyo bought the Orlando video game company 360 ED recently, they could have moved the operation back to Silicon Valley. Instead, they were so impressed with Orlando and our city's focus on tech that they chose to stay and grow the company right here in downtown. And then there's the Florida Institute of Technology that will soon be opening a women's business center in this very building with the mission of helping women enter and succeed in the technology field. And when asked why he moved their 50-person firm here, Bill Miller, the president of Moore, Stevens & Lovelace, said, "We wanted to offer our employees immediate access to the arts and enhance philanthropic opportunities and be part of the new downtown Orlando experience." So these stories and the people behind them are a big reason why Forbes magazine recently ranked Orlando, your Orlando, the #1 city in America for job growth. Orlando is the #1 city in America for job growth. And not just by a tiny bit, by the way, we're creating careers at a pace that is nearly double the national average. Now, I want everyone to pay close attention to what I'm about to say next. There is no doubt that this has been a banner year for so many reasons. But I don't just want us to remember this year for the projects we completed or the achievements we made. I want us to remember 2014 for something much, much more important. This was the year we stopped trying to be a world-class city with a world-class downtown. And this was the year Orlando became world-class. This incredible year would not be possible without the hard work of those who have become champions and cheerleaders for downtown, So many of you are here with us today, and I know a lot of you have already been recognized, but it's important that we recognize your efforts, and I want to do that. And I want to start by thanking our city commissioners again for their partnership and leadership. I want to thank the Downtown Orlando Partnership for putting this event on every year and the work that they do to better downtown every day. Everybody with the Downtown Orlando Partnership, let's stand up. If you're somebody I'm recognizing and you're already standing up, raise your hand. How about that? The Downtown Development Board and current and past members of the Downtown Development Board. And we need to recognize those downtown leaders that pave the way for us, like Bob Snow, who could appropriately be called the father of Church Street. Okay, you guys were already clapping, so I don't know if you heard that, but I'm officially designating Bob Snow as the father of Church Street. Now, Bob, Frank, who's sitting beside you, suggested grandfather of Church Street. So we also want to thank downtown businesses, large and small, for their resolve and hard work to strengthen our downtown and our regional economy. And we want to say thanks to our partners in the tourism community, our faith-based leaders, and the Central Florida Commission on Homelessness. Anybody in those organizations? And we want to again thank Mayor Teresa Jacobs and the members of the Orange County Commission for their continued partnership. And I want to thank our city employees, and particularly those who serve our residents here in downtown every day. Would anybody that receives a paycheck from the city of Orlando either stand up or raise their hand? And finally, we need to recognize the residents of our great city. Being the mayor of Orlando is the best and most rewarding job in the world. And one of my favorite parts is when somebody tells me they love the Amway Center or Lake Eola's Farmers Market, or they tell a story about something wonderful they experienced in one of our downtown main streets. So to our residents, thank you for your partnership, your passion, your imagination as we've worked together to transform our downtown. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for making our city a place where my kids and your kids can grow and thrive and follow their dreams. In fact, I'm proud to say that my son Trey and his friend Mike Black are here with us today, and they're following their dreams by starting a new company. Stand up. It's called Get Local, and I know it's a shameless plug, but that's what dads do. And it's a testament, quite honestly, to Orlando being the startup hub for young entrepreneurs, whether it's in the tech area or many other areas. So we've used the word imagination quite a bit today, and I think everyone here would agree that closing your eyes and dreaming isn't something you do just once. You never really stop imagining. You never stop creating. That notion also applies to the future of downtown Orlando. Our community succeeded in bringing to life the vision that we outlined a decade ago, but I'm very fond of saying that success isn't a destination, it's a direction. So we can't stop now. To build on the momentum that we've created, it's going to take even more imagination, even more creativity, even more resolve to fight for the future, for what we want for our downtown. And that's why we task a new diverse group of more than 100 residents with charting a path for the evolution of our center city over the next 10 years. And that includes a comprehensive neighborhood plan for Paramore, Commissioner Hill, And we call this effort Project DTO. I'm assuming that everybody here can figure out what the acronym DTO. Is there anybody okay, Downtown Orlando, DTO. For the last few months, these individuals have donated their time, a lot of their time, their talent and their passion for downtown, creating a roadmap. In our community's most creative minds, gathered an array of ideas and voices from around Orlando for what has been described as a visioning exercise on steroids. What do we want downtown to look like 10 years from now? What can we borrow from other downtowns? How can we give downtown Orlando a strategic advantage over other urban economies? What are the amenities and the assets that the residents of the future will demand that will make our downtown the envy of other cities? These are questions that we put forth as we ask residents, once again, to close their eyes, but while opening their minds. The result of this process is a plan that was created by Orlando residents for Orlando residents. It's a plan that focuses on 10 big ideas that will keep downtown's momentum going and positions Orlando to be a true city of the future. Just as it sounds, these are big, bold ideas. And some of these ideas are already underway, at least in part. Others are merely concepts and are going to take the continued hard work of this community to make them a reality. We don't have all the answers right now, but we have one incredible roadmap thanks to the members of Project DTO. Now, I could go on and tell you about these big ideas, but the wonderful thing about working with people with very creative minds on a project of this magnitude is they don't want to just talk about their vision. They want to show you their vision. They want your heart to beat a little faster, just like theirs does when they imagine what the future of our downtown looks like. So now it is my sincere privilege to ask you to turn your attention to the screens as we take a look at Project DTO and 10 big ideas for the future of downtown Orlando.
This is our home. It's our playground, classroom, kitchen, launch pad, and muse. It's growing up. It's learning from role models and bright minds, realizing that its potential is limitless, and activating its identity, an identity beyond the world's vacation destination. While other cities have survived, we have thrived. We've dared to dream big, and today, those dreams are emerging all around us. Today, we imagine again. This time, we dream of ways to give downtown a heartbeat, activate its identity, and make it human.
It begins with becoming an awesome outdoor city, centered around a world-class park system and great streets worthy of our world-class city. Enhancing Lake Eola, creating iconic park gateways. We're unleashing Lake Eola's beauty and helping it flow across downtown through a network of parks, plazas, and play areas, connected by walkable streets, accented by lighting and art. Shifting our priorities from cars to people as pavement gives way to living streets.
East to west, Florida Hospital to Orlando Health. We're connecting our vivid districts and neighborhoods. We're making it easier to find and enjoy the heartbeat of our city via a well-connected urban trail system, expanded sunrail, complete streets, smart parking, and intuitive wayfinding. We're advancing new modes of transportation as part of the experience because we've learned the journey is half the fun.
The best education in Florida lives here. Downtown is the classroom, and learning has no expiration date. Every age, every life stage is powered by enriched education, including the arts.
The opportunity economy thrives here. We're creating a center for innovation that leads the local economy and fuels the global economy, magnetizing and retaining creators, innovators, and thought leaders, and then powering opportunities for those bright minds to connect. We're influencing the world through social entrepreneurship and erasing hurdles so businesses can join our opportunity economy faster.
We're celebrating the culture of those who create, culture builders who make downtown home. We're delighting in world-class street art. We're seeing food culture as economic development and expanding our palette. attracting emerging chefs and restaurants to diversify downtown's nightlife. And we're helping foodies discover downtown Orlando's kitchen. We're creating an iconic visual identity, a citywide visual language. We're leveraging historic assets and scaling up public art, activating rooftops and amplifying architectural lighting, and making our skyline an exclamation point.
We're uniting music, art, sports, and entertainment. The Bridge District unfolds under I-4, fusing east and west with sports courts, recreation, and community gathering space. We finished our Performing Arts Center. We're hosting world-renowned festivals and events, and we're claiming our place as a premier sports city.
We're celebrating and supporting the kaleidoscope of diversity that defines us. We're coming together to reduce homelessness and increase the social good. We're strengthening our neighborhoods, increasing quality, affordable housing, sharing economic growth and quality of life equally amongst all, and uniting faith leaders to strengthen our social fabric, because we're a city that takes pride in taking care of its own.
We're celebrating our roots, preserving our history and heritage, defining our neighborhoods and districts, and sharing our authentic home with the world.
We're building for today and tomorrow, greening our streets, sustaining our tree canopy, and growing more shade, enhancing urban agriculture, and becoming a zero-waste city. Because the city beautiful must remain beautiful for generations to come. Today, we give the city we love a new vision, a renewed purpose. Tomorrow, we advance this vision and share downtown Orlando with the world.
Wasn't that pretty incredible? I want to thank our Project DTO team, led by Fred Kittinger, Brooke Myers, Philip Holt, and Carrie Coates. Would you guys, everybody, the leadership and everybody on Project DTO, stand up one more time and let's give you a huge hand. Okay, I want to thank everybody for attending the State of the Downtown event today. I'll do another little plug. This space, which I think is pretty incredible, which has been transformed over the last couple of months, is available for lease for events like this, a pretty intimate space. And I want to remind you that there is a reception here in the building that begins right now. So stay and enjoy some refreshments. We moved this back specifically to this time frame so that we could have happy hour instead of going to lunch and then going back to work. So please stay and enjoy. Thank you.